everyone, welcome to my studio. So today I want to talk about perspective, and the idea of perspective is something that a lot of people just are a bit apprehensive about. They don't want to deal with it. They feel that it's a difficult, you know, dull subject. But the reality is we cannot do good painting without good drawing, and we can't do good drawing without understanding the principles of perspective. Today, so I just want to do a very quick um, lesson and just teach you a few tricks in terms of how to build depth into your painting, how to do some elements such as buildings in perspective in a very simple way. So let's get to it. First, let's talk about houses in perspective. And when we're talking about houses, I really would like, or buildings, I would really like us to think of them more as boxes than anything else. First, let's understand, okay, we've got a horizon line here, okay, which is a sort of has the vanishing points on it. And let's assume that the house is, we're looking up at the house. Essentially what it's going to be is going to be um, a box, okay? That's all it is basically. And we're going to pull, let's say that the vanishing point is right here on the horizon line. We're going to pull that line this way and then pull this line that way. And of course anything that's vertical is going to stay vertical that way. And that's basically the box that we're building for the house. So these are the sides that you're going to see of the house. Now, how do we make the roof? Because I've seen a lot of roofs that just don't make sense on buildings. So I'm just making these look a bit better. The way to make a roof, and I'm drawing with an ink pen, but usually you would do this with a pencil. Is you take a cross section here, you do an X. I'm doing this freehand, so it might not come out perfectly, but still, you do an X like this. Okay, this is the center point then, and you bring the center point up to the line of whatever roof you want, how high ever a roof you want, and then you attach these together like that, and you've got yourself a perfect roof line. Now, on an angle, the roof line is a bit different, and this is where you really need these X's more than when it's flat like this. When it's flat like this, it's easy to find the center point. It's not so easy to find the center point when you're at an angle like this. So here you absolutely need to get those X's properly in place, because as you'll notice, the intersection of these X's is not exactly in the center. It's off a bit to the side here. Again, we've got to make sure that we go up straight, because this is not an angled line. And then again, we do from that point to the end points like that, and it becomes a perfect roof line. Obviously, this one goes to a vanishing point over here somewhere, and this one goes to a vanishing point over here somewhere, and these two meet somewhere over there. So now you've got a perfect roof that looks just right. Okay, so again, easy if you think it through, difficult if you don't think it through. Let's do one below horizon. In other words, we're looking up at it instead of looking down. Sorry, we're looking down at it instead of looking up. This is a house in the valley somewhere. And again, we're going to do a line here. We're going to take this line and extend it based on a horizon point or a vanishing point somewhere out there. Okay, so something like this. Let's cut it short like that. Make the house square like this. Okay, and in this case now we have a bit of a top that we see. So we see the top of this house. This is a straight line. There. Okay, so this is a sort of a box now that we see from the side, from the top. We can actually see the top of it, as opposed to just looking sideways. I mean, up at it or horizontally. Again, the perspective issue here for the roof doesn't change at all. We've got a line this way. Line goes up. Here's the roof line. Okay. And on this one, it's the same thing. I'm doing it freehand just for speed, but I would encourage you to use a ruler if you need to for this purpose. So I'm just going to go up straight here like this, reach out here, and this one is elongated a lot, so you see how, and then we've got lines leading this way and this line leading that way. And that roof line should meet somewhere back here, like that. But we can see the top of this building, right? So this is the roof line. I'm just gonna highlight it like this so that you don't see the scaffolding that we did for it. Okay, so that's the roof line. That's where the roof is for this building. So above us, below us, and then on the same horizon line. It's similar. There's no difference here. We're going to do the box. We're going to take a vanishing point. In this case, we've got both an ascending and a descending line for the roof. Okay, and here it's the same thing. There's our house. Okay, so very simple to do houses in perspective if you just break it down. And essentially what happens is if you have more details of the architecture, in other words, let's say there's another there's a tower here like this with a roof, and again we'll do the tower properly in perspective, right? It has to be. We have to make sure that we always work in perspective from these angles. And then what we can do is do the X for the whole tower now. Pull it up and do the roof. Do the X this way as well. Pull it up. Do the roof. If it's a different kind of roof, bring it in. And there. Now we have a church. Okay, with a steeple and everything attached to it. Okay, so once you understand this X idea and how you pull the roof up from that X point in perspective, it becomes a very simple drawing method.